Shalom Israel. This is Judah. Today's lesson is choose life. Why did I title it Choose Life? Last night as my wife and I was going through the scriptures, a lot of things jumped out. Couldn't help but notice. And as we do these studies, we get these revelations. And at the time, we think they're just revelations. But then they jump out in the scriptures. And we know it was a little bit more than just a revelation. It was facts, prophecy. So I chose the title of this, Choose Life. A lot of our people out there stuck in Christianity, I really feel bad for them. And they come to my channel and leave all these derogatory comments. Some of them are kind of on the wild side. And I realize, they really can't help it because they're blind. They can't see. All they can see is that trick that was handed to them by the Catholic Church. Yeah, that's right. That New Testament is Catholic Pope property. That's who handed you the book. But the Pope is not the one that actually set it forth. The Most High set that book out there and told you to choose whom you will serve, life or death. So let me go to Deuteronomy 30 and 19, and I'm going to explain it as I go so you can really get the meat off this bone. I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day that I, the Most High, have set before you life and death, the Torah and the New Testament. That's exactly what this means. The Torah is life, the New Testament is death. Choose you this day whom you will serve. Blessings and curse. But the Most High says, therefore, choose life, that you and your descendants may live. It's surprising to me that all the people that are strung up with Christianity have not come to realize what this means. Choose life or death. They don't know that this is a direct reference to the Torah, the true book, and the New Testament, the fake book, the book of death. Most of it is because they don't understand the scriptures, they don't know how to read in context, and they don't know how to reference the words or even bother to look them up. It takes a lot more to study than just read the words. Trust me on that. It's a lot more to it. You are not going to just read something and instantly you got it. That's not how it works. So the Most High says, choose this day whom you will serve. I have set before you life, the Torah, and death, the New Testament. And I'm going to show you scripture where he actually says that. Not in those exact words, but you will get the message. Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 24 to 25. Y'all pay attention. Listen closely. Because they kept not mine ordinances. What is he talking about here? They're in another book that has nothing to do with the Most High. There is none of his ordinances in that book. There is none of his laws, statutes, or commandments in that book. In fact, he never speaks in that book, and yet he always tells us to hearken to his voice. If he's not speaking in that book, then how do you expect to hear him? So who are you hearing? It ain't the Most High. And if it ain't the Most High, guess who it is? Because they kept not mine ordinances, and rejected my commandments, and profaned my Sabbaths. Whoa. Let's go back and read that again. Because they kept not mine ordinances, and rejected my commandments, and profaned my Sabbaths. How do you profane his Sabbath? How about Friday sundown to Saturday sundown? How about Gregorian calendar? Huh? That's profane to him, because that's not his creation. That is tradition of man. And we know what the Most High said about following traditions of man. But yet the Christians do it, and they brag about it, and they're almost willing to die for it. Complete, total ignorance. They profaned his Sabbath. They will not honor his creation calendar, and they glorify the pagan Roman Catholic Gregorian calendar. Go figure. And their eyes went after the imaginations of their fathers. See, their fathers did this same crap. When will Israel learn? Now check this out. So I gave them commandments that were not good. Oh, hallelujah. What is he saying here? I gave them commandments that were not good. I gave you that New Testament, dummies.
Wake up.
I gave you that book. But it is not the book that I wrote for you. But that was the choice you made. Remember, the Most High said, I put life and death before you. Make a choice. It ain't his fault you chose the New Testament. So you can say you got set up. I gave them commandments that were not good, and ordinances in which they should not live. Do you see what the Most High did here? This is what happened. All of these people, of our people, they had this choice set before them. And because they were ignorant and disobedient, they chose those commandments that the Most High deliberately set up. He didn't force you to choose them now. You chose them. And let's see what he said again. Because so I gave them commandments. That is, I gave them a delusion that were not good. Y'all gotta hear what he's saying here, man. I know I need to move on, but I'm kind of stuck right here because I want to make sure y'all understand what he's saying. I gave them commandments that were not good, and ordinances in which they should not live. He told them, don't do this, but he yet put the apple out there. It's like wagging a bone in front of a dog. You know the dog's gonna bite. But if your dog is well trained, he ain't touching nothing his master don't give him. I know that for a fact because I used to train dogs. My dogs wouldn't take food, I don't care how hungry they were. A stranger couldn't feed them. But this is exactly what happened here. The Most High's people allowed strangers to give them information that was null and void. I gave them commandments that were not good and ordinances in which they should not live. And I will defile them by their own decrees. You see that?
Because the Most High decrees your death. He knows when you're going to die. He knows when you're born. He knows when you're going to die. But now he's saying you are announcing your own death.
You are choosing your time of demise. Yes. Your time was set based on the Most High's timeline. And when you chose or made the wrong choice, you changed your death decree. When I pass through upon everyone that opens the womb, that's everybody that's coming through the birth canal of their mother, that I might destroy them. Jubilees, chapter 1, verse 13 through 19. Let me go back up here because I got some more to say. If you don't understand the creation calendar, don't just give up and run back to the one that has pinned you against the wall, your own decree. I think what I'm probably going to do in the next couple of days or so, oh, and by the way, I meant to mention this right up front. Sabbath is this Sunday. It is this Sunday. You keep the Sabbath from sun up until sundown. I had people write it to me last week, and I think we went back and forth over 40 comments back and forth between me and this person because they just couldn't get it. And I did my very best. I mean, I spelled it out. But I can't teach on my phone. This is why I do the lessons, so that you can go to the lessons as many times as you want. And if you just keep watching, sooner or later you're going to get it. But these people will send me messages and they want me to correspond back and forth on my phone. Well, first of all, my eyes ain't that good no more. Second, those little buttons on the phone is way too tiny for me, and it strains my eyes, and they don't realize the time difference from where they are to where I am. Most of the time they do this, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning for me. I need my beauty sleep. So the Sabbath is Sunday. Sun up to sundown.
Preparation day.
Preparation day will be Saturday. Do all that you need done on Saturday. All right. Back to verse 26 of Ezekiel, chapter 20. And I will defile them by their own decrees, your own choices, when I pass through upon everyone that opens the womb. That's everybody that's been born, that I may destroy them. Jubilees, chapter 1, 13 through 19. And many will perish, and they will be taken captive, and will fall into the hands of the enemy, because they have forsaken my commandments. Y'all get this? Because they have forsaken my ordinances and my commandments. Y'all know what ordinances are. You know what commandments are. and the festivals, this is the juicy part, and the festivals of my covenant. What are the festivals? Those are your Sabbaths. Those are your feast days. Listen, if you are not keeping the creation calendar, there is no way you are going to know the right day of the feast or the Sabbath, which is a feast. Do you not understand? In order for you to keep this day and season, you have to know when it is. If you're going by the wrong calendar, you are going to pick the wrong day. This is why it's so important to learn this creation calendar. And it is not sundown to sundown. That is pagan. My covenant and the festivals of my covenant and my Sabbaths and my holy place, which I have hallowed for myself in their midst, and my tabernacle and my sanctuary, which I have hallowed for myself in the midst of the land, that I should set my name upon it, and that it should dwell there. And they will make to themselves high places and groves and graven images. All of these crosses they wear around their neck, these pictures they got hanging on their walls, these statues and figurines in their little china cabinets, all of these things are demonic. And I know a lot of people in my past, from my own experience, have all these things. And they claim to be saved. How can you be saved when the Most High says he's coming to save you? If you saved already, you know something that nobody else knows, because the Most High has not showed up yet. So ain't nobody saved until he comes back. But they claim that, all these Christians, oh, I'm saved and filled with the Holy Ghost.
Actually, he's coming to those that are righteous, that have been following the laws, statutes, and commandments.
Yeah, he ain't coming to everybody. I tell you what, if you ain't following these laws, statutes, and commandments, and he shows up, it ain't going to be a good day for you. It is not going to be a good day for you. But yes, he's coming for the righteous. That's the only ones going to be allowed into that kingdom. Y'all got to know that. And they will make to themselves high places and groves and graven images that they will worship, each his own graven image, so as to go astray. Y'all listen, here it goes. And they will sacrifice their children to demons and to all the works of the error of their hearts. And I will send witnesses unto them, that I may witness against them, but they will not hear, and will slay the witness also. I go through this every time I do a lesson. Every time I do a lesson. Y'all all know I don't use the New Testament for nothing except to prove its wickedness. I do not teach it. And these people come and they are trying to rip my head off with New Testament. If that's what you want to believe, fine. But don't bring that mess to somebody else's channel. You ain't gonna change me. I'm not the one stupid enough to follow a book that wasn't given to me. And I will send witnesses unto them, that I may witness against them, but they will not hear. That's these Christians. Who are we? We are witnessing. We are going to you, taking you the scripture, word for word, from the book that was given to us. And you says, hell no, I don't want it. Hell no, we won't go. Hell no, we won't go. Oh my goodness. Y'all, hey, check this out, man. Look. The Most High gave Israel one book and it was completed. Now let me ask y'all a question. You know the heathens took a lot of those books out of the holy book, right? Okay. And then they came back and gave you a New Testament. Well, if they was in such a giving mood, answer me this. How come they didn't just give you back the books they took? Huh? Don't give me no new book. Give me the ones you took. Y'all think about that. Oh, they was in a hurry to give you that New Testament. I mean, they scattered that sucker all over the world. They went all into Africa, Germany, France, everywhere, dropping that New Testament book off. You used to go to hotels, and when you walked through the door, they had a what do we call that book?
Him?
No, it was a Bible that was in every hotel.
Oh, Gideon?
Gideon, New Testament, Gideon, New Testament, every hotel. And I know because I used to travel a lot.
They gave it to graduates from high school.
Boy, look here, when they graduated, when students were graduating high school, they issued them out to the students. Man, look, y'all look, ooh, boy, y'all can't see what these people were doing. They wanted you to get this book. They didn't want you to get the ones they stole.
We thought when we were leaving the U.S. and coming to Africa to freely worship our God, the Most High, and we ran into nothing but indoctrinated Christians. There's churches everywhere.
Oh man, and they be going all night long. They like the clubs around here, you know. Man, look, they are in that church up until 3, 4, and 5 o'clock in the morning. And it be, I know in the area that we live, it's at least 3. I think they got us triangulated.
Yeah.
Because we look like dead center. We got one in back, one on the side, and one in front. And they sound like the clubs, you know. It sound like that club stuff. And man, they be banging, man. You hear me? They be banging, y'all. I'm telling you. And I will send witnesses unto them that I may witness against them, but they will not hear. You can't get a Christian to listen. If the Most High did not call them out of that mess, save your breath. And will slay the witness also. And they will persecute those who seek the law. That's us, y'all. They don't like us because we don't follow the Luciferian agenda. So they hate you. And they think you are lost. And they will persecute those who seek the law. And they will abrogate and change everything so as to work evil before my eyes. And did they not change everything?
Yes.
Everything you know is upside down. Yes is no, and no is yes. And I shall hide my face from them, and I shall deliver them into the hand of the Gentiles for captivity, and for a prey, and for devouring. And I shall remove them from the midst of the land, and I shall scatter them among the Gentiles. And they will forget my law. Here we go, y'all. Check this out. And they will forget my law. What does that sound like to you, Christian? And a lot of our own people who are seeking the truth haven't come to realize that the Torah is the only book of the law. Who has ever called the New Testament the book of the law? never has been done. And they will forget all my law and all of my commandments and all of my judgments, and will go astray as to new moons and Sabbaths and festivals and jubilees and ordinances.
All be out of order.
Did y'all get that? Has this not happened? Look how often I teach the creation calendar. Why? Even me and my wife both, we were doing it wrong. I praise and thank the Most High so much that he opened our eyes and said, this is where I want you to be. This is the calendar I want you to follow. He took that crap away from us and showed us the true way, the way he established. And nothing man-made about it. But just read this one more time. And they will forget all my law and all my commandments and all of my judgments, and will go astray as to new moons, Sabbaths, festivals, jubilees, and ordinances. They don't know how to schedule their Sabbath based on the new moon. They don't know when the Sabbath is because they don't understand the new moon. If you don't understand the new moon, you cannot know when the Sabbath is. And the festival, if you don't know the new moon, you can't keep the Sabbath, and so therefore you can't keep none of the festivals.
All out of order.
Everything is out of order. And the jubilees and the ordinances. Y'all saw it. These ain't my words. These are not my words. Jubilees, chapter 6 and verse 34. And all the children of Israel will forget and will not find the path of the years. Huh? Why is this happening? Because they are disobedient. And the children of Israel, not the whole world, the children of Israel will forget and will not find the path of the years and will forget the new moons. Holy Father. Oh, I got to read that again. Somebody didn't get it. And all the children of Israel will forget and will not find the path of the years. You're lost. And will forget the new moons and seasons and Sabbaths, and they will go wrong as to all the order of the years. Holy Father, man, y'all don't understand how deep this is. This is important. This is the way home. This is your way home, not Planet Nibiru and the war in Russia and Ukraine. It ain't got nothing to do with that. Although that is part of this, what's coming. This is your ticket home. 2nd Ezra 14, verses 1 through 18. And it came to pass upon the 3rd day, I sat under an oak, and behold, there came a voice out of a bush over against me and said, Esdras, Esdras. And I said, Here I am, Most High. And I stood up on my feet. Then he said unto me, In the bush I did manifestly reveal myself unto Moses, and I talked with him when my people served in Egypt. And I sent him and led my people out of Egypt. And I brought him up to the mount of where I held him by a long season, and told him many wondrous things, and showed him the secrets of the times and the end. and commanded him, saying, These words shalt thou declare, and these shalt thou hide. And now I say unto thee, that thou lay up in thy heart the signs that I have showed you, and the dreams that thou hast seen, and in the interpretations which thou hast heard. For thou shalt be taken away from all, and from henceforth thou shalt remain with my son, and with such as be like thee, until these times be ended. That is saying Ezra is in the kingdom, not in the kingdom, in heaven with David and Moses and others like him. Just so you get it straight. For the world hath lost his youth, and the times begin to wax old. For the world is divided into 12 parts. Y'all pay close attention, because we talked about these 12 parts in an older video.
That was taken down.
Huh?
That was taken down.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they took those videos down, man. Gosh, yeah. But there's 12 parts. As a matter of fact, do you have time to read those 12 parts? Y'all bear with me. Before I read this part right here, I want y'all to hear the 12 parts, because they took the videos down that we did called in Baruch 2. Now, the reason they used to take them down, it was some kind of medical violation that we supposedly had committed, and I repealed it, and they came back. Oh no, you violated our policy, so those videos are gone.
Okay, so this is 2nd Baruch in chapter 27. And the Most High is replying back to Baruch. And he answered and said unto me, Into 12 parts is that time divided. And each of them is reserved for that which is appointed for it. So in the first part, there shall be the beginning of commotions. And in the second part, there shall be slayings of the great ones. And in the third part, the fall of many by death. And in the fourth part, the sending of the sword. And in the fifth part, famine and the withholding of rain. And in the sixth part, earthquakes and terrors. 8 will be wanting. 9, and in the eighth part, a multitude of specters, which is hauntings, and attacks of the Shadems, which are devils. And in the ninth part, the fall of fire. And in the 10th part, rapine, which is plundering and robbery, and much oppression. And in the 11th part, wickedness, unchastity, promiscuity. And in the 12th part, confusion, from the mingling together of all those things aforesaid, which means before I said, ahead of time. For these parts of that time are reserved and shall be. For these parts of that time are reserved and shall be mingled one with another and minister one to another. For some shall leave out some of their own and receive in its stead from others. And some complete their own and that of others, so that those may not understand who are upon the earth in those days, that this is the consummation of the times. All those things that I have just read about, those 12 parts, they can combine with one another, like a hurricane and a tornado, earthquakes and volcanoes. All those can combine with one another, or
they can leave stuff out.
Or they can leave stuff out, whatever.
Yeah. Now, I think there was something else just down below that. Never mind. Now, those were the 12 parts. Most of those things are happened or have already happened. Now, check this out. Verse 11. For the world is divided into 12 parts. I'll show y'all something here. All right, stupid thing. And the 10 parts of it are gone already, okay? The 10 parts of it are already past. That is giving you a time. It is telling you you have very little time left. And half of a 10th part, and there remaineth that which is after the half of the 10th part. That means there's 2.5 parts left. Now, I don't know about you, but that don't sound like a whole lot to me. Especially when you look at what's going on in the world right now, man. We're on the brink of nuclear war. How many of y'all realize there are enemies of the U.S. joining hands with each other as we speak? This thing is not going to end. It is going to come to pass. And there remaineth that which is after the half of the 10th part. That leaves 2.5 parts. That just ain't much time. Now therefore, set thine house in order. Do you understand what that means? Set thine house in order. Get yourself right. And reprove thy people. Comfort such of them as be in trouble. And now renounce corruption. Renounce corruption? That sounds like JC to me. Renounce corruption? That New Testament is a corrupt book. And he's telling you, get out of that book if you want to live. Renounce corruption. Get rid of the New Testament. It is not for you. It was written for the devils, by the devils, of the devils. Not Israel. Israel didn't have nothing to do with that. So let go from the mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature. Rise up, Israel, be strong. And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. It's about to get a whole lot worse. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. For the time is fled far away, and leasing is hard at hand. For now hasteth the vision to come, which thou hast seen. 2 Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people. That's what we do. The words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Most High. And cause them to be written in paper. That's your Torah. For they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. I get them coming to the channel all the time. They always come and trying to straighten me out. They're always trying to tell me a scripture from the New Testament that proves it's true. Like I'm stupid. Half of them, they talk like they're 5 years old. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So all of you that have come to this channel throwing these New Testament slurs at me, this is for you. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Remember, Israel, the Sabbath is Sunday. Sun up to sundown. All praises to the Most High. This is Judah Yasharel, and I approve this message.
Shalom.